Hey everybody, welcome back to Ginatopia. Today I am doing my eyeshadow collections video. I know that since my haul video, or excuse me, since my declutter video, people have been asking me what I have in my collection. Well, I have added a few things since then, and I thought that I would show you what I have, and I thought it was appropriate that I started out with my favorite eyeshadow palette. This is the Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm sure everyone has seen this palette. And I will probably pan Golden Ochre before I pan any of them because that is one of my favorite shades in this palette. But this palette is absolutely beautiful. And if you don't have it, you really should get it because this palette is just my baby. The next palette I have is my Too Faced Chocolate Chip palette. Let's open this up. I did break into this after my declutter video and have used this. It smells so good. Cute little palette. I also have the Smashbox Mattes palette. Still not in love with that palette. I have the Golden Youths palette by Style Essentials. Not a lot of color payoff in that palette, but I've only played with it once, so need to get into that palette and try it more. I have the Tartlet Tease palette. That's a good palette. Now this was in my declutter and I said I was going to get rid of it, but I decided to keep it because I had paid so much money for it, and I'm back in love with this palette. This is the Lancome Ombre Effects Sensations palette. It is browns and mauves, and I have fallen so much back in love with this palette. I'm glad that I decided to keep that one after all. Here is my Carly Bible by BH Cosmetics palette, and this palette is absolutely stunning. If you've not bought this palette, it may be still available at Ulta. I saw it at Ulta the last time I was there about a month ago, and it was on sale I think for $12.50. This palette is amazing. Look at these colors. Absolutely beautiful color payoff. I know she has a second palette now, and it's a great palette, but I won't be buying it because there's a lot of color dupes in it, and I really don't feel like I need it since I still have this first one, but this is a great palette. I also have the Pure Soiree Diaries palette, which came in my first ever BoxyCharm, and I had looked at this palette at Ulta Beauty, and this is a really nice palette. I finally got my two palettes in from Morphe. I got the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I got the Morphe 35P palette. I still want the 35T palette, but little steps, baby steps. But look at this 35P palette. It is absolutely gorgeous. Look at these colors. Look at those colors. Aren't those beautiful? Love, love, love those. There's my box to put that back in. And my Jaclyn Hill palette. Let's open it up. Get it out of the bubble wrap. And let's do a couple color swatches here. Let's see. Let's do that one. And let's find a finger that don't have something on it. Take this bracelet off so I have more room to do color swatches. I think I did those two fingers. I don't know if you can really see those or not, but that's a nice palette. So there's my Jaclyn Hill palette that I got from Morphe. Okay, I also still have this palette that I got either from Ross or TJ Maxx. It's full of blushes and eyeshadows. And believe it or not, those actually have some pretty good color payoff. So, there's no name on that anywhere. It's just in a really cute clutch type packaging. Okay, my next eyeshadows are, let me get them down here. This one I bought and haven't used yet. It's Lorac Pro on the Go palette. It was a Sephora special. You open it up and it's got eyeshadows on one side and blushes on the other. box. Then I have my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. That is one of my all-time favorite palettes. And I have the dupe for that. I have the Makeup Revolution Light and Shade palette. Oh, there goes the little brush out of it. So you can see these two palettes side by side. Love both of those palettes. Pick up my brush and put it back in my palette. I also have the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. And let's do a couple color swatches out of it. Those are so beautiful. Can you see those? Absolutely beautiful. Oh no. Oh no. I'll have to pick those up in a minute. I also have a Pure Cosmetics Simply Matte Nudes collection. I think this is going to be a gift for someone if I don't give it away in another way. But this is a really nice palette. That's a $39 palette from Pure Cosmetics. Here is one that I have bought two of, one for me and one to give away. This is the Love Collections by Pure Cosmetics. This is the dupe for the Naked 3 palette, and I love this palette. Let me do a couple color swatches on it. Let's see. Love, love, love that palette. I hope it didn't break anything when I knocked those off. The next palette that I have in my collection is the Revealed 2 palette, which is also supposed to be a dupe for the Naked 3, but it actually has some additional colors in it. And I love this palette. This is by Coastal Scents. So let me do a couple of color swatches in this palette. I love that palette. This is one of my go-to palettes. And then another one of my favorite palettes is the Tarteist Pro palette. Love, love, love this. I had this in my collection for a long time before I ever opened it up and used it. I don't know what I was waiting on, but this is an excellent, excellent palette. So let's do a couple color swatches in it. And I'm going to hit pan on Whitney pretty soon because I love that color so much. There we go. Those colors are gorgeous. I love Whitney. Love that color. It could be because I have a sister named Whitney. Now the next one isn't an eyeshadow palette, but I have to show it off because I recently acquired this at a consignment shop, and I was so glad to get this. This is a $45 Urban Decay Gwen Stefani blush palette that I got for $19, and I love this. Those blushes are gorgeous. Love that. Not sure if you can see that second one or not. It's so faint, but gorgeous. Now let me wipe off my arm just a little bit so I can go in for some more. Now I'm not going to do my little singles or my ones that have just little 6 pans. I'm just going to do my larger palettes. So you can see, this is W7 in the Night Smoky Eyes. Now I'm not showing you all this just to be bragging. I'm showing you this because I was asked what I had left in my collection after I had done my declutter, but I had bought several palettes since I had done my declutter. So this is what's in the W7 palette. And this is another one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes. Mother had bought me this, and I think this eyeshadow palette is so underrated. This is the It Cosmetics Naturally Pretty palette, and it's got that velvety, plush, pink stuff on it, and it's easy to get dirty, but I tell you, I love this palette. This is my go-to palette when I know I need a fast eye, that I want a pretty eye. This is it. When I went to West Virginia last year to a wedding, I took this with me because I knew whatever I decided I wanted to do, this palette would do it. And we actually used this palette on the bride's mother. But this palette has oranges, it has plums, it has browns, it has blue, it has a black, it has just your neutral shades. I've already hit pan on Sheer Joy, just about hit pan on Soft Light and Love, hitting pan pretty soon on Violet and Mocha. This palette is one that I will repurchase because I love this palette. It Cosmetics knocked it out of the park, I think, with this palette. It is just an all-around good palette. I just feel like $1,000,000 when I use this palette. It just makes the prettiest eye. I love it. This and Modern Renaissance, you give me these two palettes and I probably could get rid of everything else that I've got. I love these two palettes. Love it. And loving that palette so much, I bought the It Cosmetics Naturally Pretty Romantics palette. And I should have kept the other one in its box, but I didn't. It also has the plush stuff on it. And there went the little paper out of it, or plastic out of it. It just has some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful soft colors in it. I probably should have showed you some of the colors in that other palette, but I will show you some in this one. Again, it has absolutely beautiful. Here's Tranquility. Just a beautiful spring looking palette. Here is Enchanting. And look at those two shades. Absolutely beautiful. They also have Transforming Pearl right down here at the bottom. They're all matte shades. If you want a little pearlized look to them, you just add the Transforming color to them, and it gives your eye a whole different look. These two palettes are excellent. It Cosmetics, I tell you, they absolutely can make some eyeshadows. I think that these are still available. Both of them are still available at Ulta and at QVC. So these are two palettes. I recommend the first one more so than this one. This one is just a little bit paler, but anybody who's just starting out and wants an excellent eyeshadow palette, I know the Modern Renaissance palette is not really for a beginner who doesn't really know how to apply eyeshadows and blend well. You get this eyeshadow palette right here, the It Cosmetics Naturally Pretty, and it just about blends the colors for you. It is the best palette ever. I recommend this to a beginner. I recommend this to a pro. If I could only pick one eyeshadow palette, this would be it. This would be it. Now let's go in for some more eyeshadows. Let's move my pretty little peach blush from Too Faced. I love my Too Faced. Naked 2 Basics. This is an excellent eyeshadow palette for beginners. Love these shades. Took this with me when I went to Canada. Great eyeshadow palette. Just great, small, compact to travel with. This is the Estee Lauder Berries, or Chanted Berries. Plan on taking that one to work with me. Just haven't made it to work with it yet. That's a contour palette. That doesn't belong there. I'm just about through. This is a birthday palette from Ulta. It's by NYX. This was free for my birthday in July. It has some really great colors in it. You can't use it, I don't think, standalone. I think I needed another palette. You could use it standalone. I just preferred a different palette with it. But let me show you some great colors that you got with this palette. I thought it was a great free birthday present. I was tickled to death to get it. Here are 4 of the colors out of it. Oranges, browns, plums, rust. Absolutely beautiful palette. And everybody knows what the chocolate bar from Too Faced looks like. The Semi-Sweet from Too Faced. And the Bonbon from Too Faced. And if that's not enough Too Faced, here is the Sweet Peach from Too Faced, which is another one of my favorites. I just about have hit pan on Bellini and on Luscious. Great, great palettes. And here is the City Color Figtastic palette. Let me show you a couple colors out of this. Now this I still need to play with some. I am just not used to using a lot of shimmers, but it does have some gorgeous colors on that arm up here. And last but not least in my color palette collection, or my palette collection, is the Ultra Beauty Matte Neutrals. And I think this is a really good palette for $20. So if you don't want to spend a lot of money on a palette, but you want a nice palette, this gives you some great transition shades. It gives you some great shades to put out in your corner. It gives you your shades to go on your eye to set your eyeshadow. I really like Renee, and I like Courtney, and I like, let's see, Kira. There we go. So that is what my eyeshadow palette collection consists of. I hope you like this type of video. There's a lot more videos like this out there on YouTube, so be sure to give it a thumbs up. And be sure to give them a thumbs up, because this helps us out with our videos. Remember, if you like my video, please click like. If you like my channel, please hit the little red button and subscribe to my channel. And be sure to click the little bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. And remember to share the love, not the hate, because there's so much hatred in this world. And we want to share the love, not the hate. So, if there's a video you would like to see, be sure to let me know so I can make that video and upload it. I just would like to maybe do something that you would like to see more than give me some ideas, because, you know, sometimes each one running out of ideas. Anyway, like I said, my favorite eyeshadow palettes, let me dig down through here and get them out and show you. Modern Renaissance, the Naked 2 by Urban Decay, and I guess of all the eyeshadow palettes I've got, it would have to be my IT Cosmetics Naturally Pretty. Mother got me this, and it's one of the best gifts she ever got me, cosmetic wise, anyway wise, because I absolutely love this palette. It's an excellent palette, and love it. So and it could be because two of those are in pink. But there is my three favorite palettes. I think this one was $42, this one was $42, and this one was $29. So if you like my videos, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I will check you out next time.